Welcome back to my channel, Hint of J, and in today's video, I'd like to go over all the different things that I've learned so far within my first month of protective styling for the year 2026. I'll also be talking about things that I will no longer be doing moving forward on this length retention journey and things that I look forward to. If you're interested in that, please continue watching. Okay, so the number one thing that I've learned so far is less is more when it comes to product usage. So initially I was using a good amount of leave-in conditioner to moisturize my hair every other day, but over time I realized that I really don't need that much product, especially since I moisturize my hair so consistently. And so instead of using about a quarter size amount, I've reduced it all the way to a dime size amount. Initially I would dip my hand in the leave-in conditioner and then put the product directly on my roots. But now what I do is dip my hand in the leave-in conditioner, rub it in to evenly disperse it across my hand, and then press it into my hair. Why is that important for me? So it's important because, again, I'll be keeping my hair in for a month at a time and essentially going that long without washing. And so inevitably there will be product accumulation or buildup near my scalp. And so it's gonna happen, but I'd rather it be less product than more product by the end of the month. So less is more when it comes to all the products, leave-in conditioner, in addition to the oil that I use, as well as the water. I don't use too much of anything. It's just not necessary. But again, I really want to avoid too much product buildup, because some of it is just, again, inevitable. So let's see. All right, so the second thing that I learned is how to approach moisturizing my hair so that all the surfaces or all the different sections of braids can have exposure to the leave-in conditioner, the oil, in addition to the water, but mainly the leave-in conditioner and oil. So originally what I would do is just come over top after rubbing in the leave-in conditioner and press into my roots in the front as well as the sides and back of my hair. The only issue with that is I wouldn't always be able to get the entire section of my roots by doing it this way. And so towards the end of the journey, I realized I could just literally put my head back so that my braids move out the way and go from underneath. That way I can directly touch every section for the most part with the product. And I have a video of it, so I'll also include a visual for those of you who would like to see it explained that way. Why is that important? Well, you really want to make sure all your hair is moisturized. At least the majority of your strands are seeing some type of product, to include your moisturizer as well as your oil. Not so much the water, because when you spritz it, it literally should hit every section or every strand of hair for the most part, and that's not a concern. But yeah, that was the second thing that I learned this year, or for the month of January. Okay, so the third important thing that I learned is the importance of wearing a do-rag and a bonnet every single night. So my original intention of wearing the do-rag was to keep my hair laid down and frizz-free, which so far the do-rag has done that perfectly. And on top of the do-rag, I wear the bonnet just in case some of my hair slips out while I'm laying in bed, or maybe the do-rag falls off while I'm laying in bed, but some way, somehow, the bonnet is still there. So that's honestly the only reason that I have a bonnet on my head. Otherwise, it's the star of the show is truly the bonnet or the do-rag. And so this month, it's proven to me that the do-rag keeps the frizz away for the most part. And I'll just show you guys my hair up close, and then I'll also show you all before and after pictures from day one and then to now. All right, so another way that I look at it, if you all have brothers, boyfriends, husbands, fathers, whoever who are black that wear do-rags, or just someone who wears the do-rag because they're trying to keep their waves, I guess, in place, it's kind of the same thing. Like, I'm essentially doing the same thing that they do, but for different purposes. Their purpose is to make sure that their waves stay intact and looks good. My purpose is just to eliminate frizz. But if you can imagine, typically men who have the wave fade hairstyle, they're constantly wearing that do-rag to make sure their waves are really nice. And when they take it off, they are nice. There's like no frizz. And I've seen some men where they could literally have like a mini afro, but brush their hair down in such a way, put the product on it, lay it down, and then put a do-rag on it and wear it almost 24/7. And you would never know that they even have a big afro because the do-rag does such a good job at laying their hair down. So I was just thinking one day, essentially that's what I'm doing. And I think that's why it's worked so well, because it lays down the hair perfectly in place. And that's what I want, given that I'll be wearing this protective style for at least 2 to 3 months at a time. And again, for the past month, the do-rag has done my hair very well, and I don't feel like it looks old. It looks pretty new to me. All right, so the fourth learning point for me that is actually pretty essential to this entire journey was learning that I can wash my hair in this protective style. So originally I was gonna wait until the 2 to 3 month mark to wash my hair because I was willing to take the risk of not washing in order to preserve my protective style. Why did I prioritize preservation of my protective style? I want to say about 2 key reasons. The first key reason is that I don't want to over manipulate my hair or be in my hair with my hands pretty much at all. And the wash day process will require, I thought at least, that it will require me to either have to take down my braids in order to wash it properly. And then with any type of manipulation, there is a chance of breakage. So I was willing to sacrifice washing in order to prevent breakage. So the reason I was willing to take that risk is because, all right, so the second reason I was willing to take the risk of not washing for at least 2 to 3 months is because I wanted to preserve my protective style to also allow me to be comfortable in it. Because I figured initially that if I were to wash my hair, have my hands in my hair, rubbing, causing friction, ultimately frizz, I wouldn't want to keep wearing the protective style because I wouldn't feel comfortable with my protective style looking old, essentially. So now that I've tried a method that I've already posted on my channel, I've learned that there is a way in which I can wash my hair and not cause frizz. So that is why I'm deciding to wash my hair once a month moving forward, which we'll get into later in this video. But comfortability is a huge factor for me when it comes to wearing my natural hair and my protective styles, especially since I want to keep them in for at least 2 to 3 months. And if I don't feel comfortable in something, I 100% will take it out and I will not wear it because I value comfortability over anything else. So thankfully I was able to find a way to wash my hair honestly as often as I want, but for right now we're just going to do once a month, and to preserve my protective style while doing it, which is great for me since my scalp will be clean. I'll be able to give my strands as well as my scalp a clean slate, given that I apply product pretty consistently and on a regular basis. So yep, that was the fourth thing that I learned. So my fifth learning point kind of goes with my fourth point that I just spoke about, but I'll go into a little bit more detail. So again, for those of you who've already watched my detailed wash day routine for this protective style, the star of the show was that tool. I'm not sure what to call it, but it has an applicator tip on top of a bottle. in which you can put any type of product in it or liquid. So shampoo, oil, whatever you want to put in there. So for my wash day, of course, I put in my shampoo. Why is this product so essential? It has the little comb piece at the very top, and I'm able to insert it directly into my scalp and move it back and forth without causing too much friction and ultimately frizz. And that was essential for my wash day, since I was able to target essentially every section of my hair that had a braid in it and go underneath the braid, the side, the front, the back, and thoroughly clean my scalp without having to directly touch my hair with my hands and move it in circular motions, which is typically what we do when we're trying to lather shampoo on our hair. So glad I thought of that product. I found it on Amazon. I already recorded the unboxing for it. I just need to upload the video, hopefully after I create my Amazon storefront. But a key thing that I want to mention that I haven't mentioned yet is that for this product, the combs that it has, they have some type of flexibility to it. They're not super rigid. And so I like that because it allows me to work it into my roots without having to, again, create too much friction. All right, so the sixth learning point for me is that whenever I do wear my do-rag, it's important for me not to lay it directly on my edges. So like this. I don't want it directly on my edges because that will cause too much tension for my liking. Why is that important? It's because I'm trying to grow my edges and my perimeter of my hair back in. And if I have too much tension on my edges, that can prevent growth and length retention and potentially cause breakage. So I've mitigated that by at least attempting to put the do-rag closer on my forehead and risk me having maybe a small indentation on my forehead in the morning, but so far I haven't had to deal with that. And I just wrap my hair with the do-rag very loosely and don't tie it super tight because it's not necessary, and also because I have my bonnet to go on top of my head in case my do-rag was to fall off, but so far it has never fallen off since I've started this journey. So I learned that it was too much tension because it was a little bit painful in that area in the morning or when I woke up. And so I already knew immediately, okay, I gotta move this, at least the strings of the do-rag further on my forehead. So another key thing that I learned. So number 7. So I initially shaved my edges off on December 31st of last year, again, because they were broken off and I wanted to restart the growth process. And since then, I've only been applying the same product that I use to moisturize the rest of my hair, which is a leave-in conditioner, jojoba oil, and water to my edges every other day, just like I do the rest of my hair. And my edges have grown in pretty good, pretty steadily so far. And that has just shown me I don't need a specific essential oil in order to stimulate growth. What's truly important for me, given I don't have any issues that would hinder the growth of my hair, is maintaining the edges that do grow in. And again, the only thing that I really need to do is persistently or consistently moisturize my hair, tie my hair up so that the moisture stays in, and avoid using any type of edge control or using any type of brush along my hairline, because the brush, whether it's an edge brush or a regular bristle brush, can contribute to tension and pulling and tugging, and this area is already very sensitive, so that's the last thing I want near my edges. And so far, I've just been avoiding any edge control, any brushes near my perimeter so far, and it's been great. That's kind of a big deal because all the years prior, I would always use edge control. In the future, I may go back to using edge control, who knows? But it says a lot for me that I've been able to wear my hair like this every day and not have to worry about trying to slick my edges down. It's just a non-factor for me, and my edges match the rest of my hair as it should. So there really is no reason for me to want to slick my edges when the rest of my hair isn't slick. The rest of my hair is kinky and it's curly, so they look how they should look. Number 8. So for the entire month of January, I've been able to keep my hair moisturized. So not a single day of this past month has my hair ever been dry. And that's important because if your hair is dry, it can lead to breakage. And if you have breakage, you are regressing and not able to retain your length. So the reason I've been able to keep my hair from drying out is by consistently moisturizing it every other day. For those of you who don't know how I determine how often I need to moisturize, I did an experiment on myself last year where I initially used my 3 moisturization products, water, leave-in, and oil, and then I waited out how long it would take for my hair to dry out. And I think my hair probably got dry around the 2nd or 3rd day, somewhere along those lines. And my goal is to stay ahead of the dryness. And so that's why I re-moisturize every other day, so every 2 days instead of every 3 or 4 or 5 days. And so far it's been working pretty well for me, and I plan to continue using that. Now let's transition to the things that I worry about moving into the 2nd month of this protective styling journey. So the first thing that I'm worried about is eventually wondering whether or not my hair will start to mat, or at least the strands entangle amongst one another, leading to matting. So far, I don't think that's been an issue for me, but I'm on high alert for that because I don't want to have to deal with detangling all the different matted sections on takedown day, because with that comes a chance of breakage. So I'm really hoping for the month of February, my hair strands stay within their respected sections. But really there's nothing I can do about it. I do think the wash day process, so me scrubbing my scalp with my tool, could potentially contribute to matting, maybe because it can cause some of the strands to come closer to each other, had they not been, I guess, disturbed with the tool. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, so I'm gonna come close to you all. I don't want to take my bun down right now, but do you see how all of my hair is pretty much coalesced / meshed together really well? And it looks neat right now, but part of me always wonders, like, are some of these strands matted together, or are they still together but not tangled? So I truly don't know, but I'm hoping, since I moisturize my hair regularly and I detangled my hair thoroughly before putting these braids in, well, my hair was straight before putting the braids in, but I'm hoping because of those reasons my hair isn't matted, and this is more so just what my texture looks like when I have my hair consistently moisturized and tied up every single night. But I'm always curious and wondering, is my hair matted? Is it, are the strands interlocking, or am I just overthinking it? And I'm hoping I'm just overthinking. So the second thing that I worry about is the development of frizz, despite me wearing my bonnet my do-rag every single day. I did wash my hair on January 31st, and my hair got wet. I applied product, and so far it still doesn't look frizzy. But if you all see my newest video, if I posted before this video, so video number 17, when I was looking at my hair, it did look a little bit frizzy after I applied some product to it, and usually it's not like that. So I'm just a little bit concerned and hoping that the frizz doesn't get worse. And if it just stays like this for the remainder of the next 2 months, but we'll see. And again, here's a visual. Hopefully the camera quality is okay, but so far no frizz. Next, let's talk about the 2 things I plan to no longer do in the month of February. So the first being is applying oil directly to my scalp. For the past month and all of last year, I used jojoba oil. Last year, I would typically apply it to my scalp once a week, I believe. And my intentions of applying it to my scalp then was to help keep it moisturized and prevent it from drying out. I never had any issues with applying jojoba oil directly to my scalp last year, but this year I want to be more intentional about the reasons I'm using certain products so that it's actually accomplishing or doing what I want it to do for my hair. So I did a quick search on ChatGPT just to further educate myself about the sebum that comes from our scalp. And so with this quick search, it states here, sebum is basically your scalp's built-in conditioning system. It's an oily substance made by your sebaceous glands attached to your hair follicles, and it serves a few key purposes. Key number 1, it keeps the hair and scalp moisturized by coating the hair shaft and scalp skin, thereby preventing dryness, flaking, and brittleness. Without it, hair would be dull and prone to breakage. Number 2, it protects the scalp barrier by forming a thin protective layer that shields the scalp from irritation, friction, and environmental stress like wind, cold, or pollution. Number 3, it has antimicrobial properties. Sebum helps keep certain bacteria and fungi in check, supporting a healthier scalp microbiome. It also adds flexibility and shine to the hair. A small amount makes the hair smoother, more elastic, and naturally glossy. When sebum is balanced, your scalp feels comfortable and your hair looks healthy. Too little means dryness and itchy. Too much can lead to greasy hair, clogged follicles, dandruff, or scalp acne. So the reason I no longer want to use oil on my scalp is because the sebum that my scalp is already producing can do the job of oil, if not better. So why add oil to my hair? My scalp already produces that oil. However, I will continue to use oil, but just not directly on my scalp. And the reason is because with my hair being curly, coily, or textured, whatever you want to call it, the natural sebum does have a difficult time traveling down the hair shaft easily. In addition, I have braids in my hair, so I'm assuming that would make it even harder for the oil that's coming from my scalp to travel down these braids and to get to the rest of the hair shaft, the end of the hair shaft. And so I would use oil, my jojoba oil, to compensate for what the sebum cannot do. So that is my reasoning as to why I will no longer be applying oil directly to my scalp and allowing my sebum to do its job naturally. I don't think I have an issue with dry scalp or an oily scalp. I would hope, and I do think that my scalp is balanced. So I'll just take my chances with that and see if my sebum is able to do its job over this next month and hopefully for the rest of the year. The second thing I plan to no longer do for the month of February is apply my Shea Moisture Jamaican Black Castor Oil shampoo directly to my scalp in order to clean it on wash day. The reason I'm considering or planning on not doing that anymore is because I want to say 2 days ago, or at least 2 days after washing my hair, my scalp got a little bit itchy, briefly, nothing crazy. So of course I scratched it a little bit, and I always check underneath my nails whenever I scratch my hair to see if there's any type of substances. And there was this brownish, like crumbly, very small, but brownish crumbly substance underneath my nails. And I knew instantly it was the shampoo that's a dark brown color, and my shampoo I think is a little bit old, so that could be contributing to it. But again, it's mainly a moisturizing shampoo, It's not a clarifying shampoo. And so I'm thinking for the end of February, instead of applying the Shea Moisture shampoo directly to my scalp, I'll just apply it to the length of my braids and my ends in order to get rid of the product that has accumulated over time. So that being my leave-in conditioner and my oil, of course, because it did a great job of removing those products from my hair when I washed it on the 31st of January. So far, I've mainly used the ketoconazole shampoo to clean my scalp. I need to do a little bit more research when it comes to clarifying shampoo. I know its job, well, I assume its job is to clarify your strands of hair. I'm not sure if it's also to clarify your scalp as well. I'll just do a quick Google search eventually. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because if I plan to use the ketoconazole shampoo for my scalp health and to prevent fungus from coming or developing on my scalp, I shouldn't have to use another shampoo to keep my scalp clean. I can just maybe skip the clarifier shampoo and just use a moisturizing shampoo for the length of my hair. But let's just do a quick Google search while I'm on here. So clarifying, purpose of clarifying shampoo. Let's see what ChatGPT says. Oh, okay. So clarifying shampoo is basically a reset button for your scalp and hair, which does make sense. It removes buildup. That includes excessive sebum, product residue, hard water minerals, pollution, and sweat. So let's see if ketoconazole shampoo can serve as a clarifier. Can ketoconazole shampoo serve as a clarifier? Clarifying shampoo? Question mark. So it says, sort of, but ketoconazole shampoo is not a true clarifying shampoo and it shouldn't be used as one. What ketoconazole shampoo actually does, it's medicated antifungal shampoo. It targets Malassezia yeast. It reduces inflammation, itching, and flaking. What clarifying shampoo does, it removes product buildup, as we already went over. So can ketoconazole clarify? It may remove some oil and light residue. It does not remove heavy product buildup or mineral deposits well. Let's see. So it says, best way to use ketoconazole shampoo is only when there's dandruff, itchiness, or flaking present. Use a separate clarifying shampoo occasionally if buildup is an issue. Let's see. So I think I read somewhere that you can use ketoconazole as a preventative medication, not just as a treatment option. Ketoconazole shampoo can be used as a preventative agent in patients with a history of seborrheic dermatitis or dandruff to maintain remission, but there is insufficient evidence to support its routine use for prevention in individuals without any prior scalp condition. So that was my reason for why I was using it despite not me having an active fungal infection, because I was previously diagnosed with a fungal scalp condition. I believe it was seborrheic dermatitis. And so, of course, as someone who had that condition, I want to prevent it from returning. And so, based on what I'm reading, you can use it, given that I have a history of it. And then it says here, as symptoms improve with initial treatment, usage can be reduced to 2 to 3 times weekly for maintenance. And I'm only using it once a month, so I'm really not using it that much. But again, this is for me. If you have a fungal issue with your scalp or any issues with your scalp, always consult your medical provider. This is just my documented experience. All right, finally, let's move on to the things that I'm curious about moving forward in the month of February and beyond for the year 2026. So the first thing I'm curious about is if I am able to achieve a frizz-free protective style for 2 to 3 months, could I possibly keep my protective style in for 4 months? However, I'm concerned that if I keep it in for 4 months, the chances of me having matting and tangling could be high, but there's also a chance that it might not. Who knows? But that's just something I've been curious about, since now I know I can wash my hair monthly and not have frizz so far for the month of January. Then can I continue this until April? Who knows? We'll see. I'm also wondering if my hair will be as moisturized as I think it should be on takedown day. I honestly think it should be, since I moisturize my hair every other day, despite me keeping my hair in for a long time. So we'll see. That's just something I'm thinking about. And so the last thing I'm curious about, it says here, can I wash my hair twice a month? Yes, I'm wondering, can I wash my hair twice a month now that I know how to wash it without causing frizz? And if I do wash it twice a month, will that lead to quicker development of frizz or even matting at my roots? So I don't know if I'm going to try that out. I think I'm going to stick to monthly washing, but maybe towards the end of the year, let's say the 9th month, let's say the 11th month, maybe like the very last month, I'll try washing my hair like twice in that month and see how I like it. But I really don't want to take any chances, so we'll just keep with the regular routine of washing once. All right, so that concludes all of my month 1 reflections of my 2026 length retention journey. If you found this video interesting, learned something new, or have any questions or concerns, please be sure to comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.